Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm gonna do a series of 3 episodes all about the Navy and the newest setup or the possible hero combinations. So first let's start with my conservative way of approaching this march, and I'm gonna explain you how exactly does this march works. So my Navy defense is actually plan A, it's Kotira to silence, and if that will not happen, I must have a plan B, and the plan B and the second tool and most important tool in this game is in the destructible buff, because it has to mitigate as much as possible the hits from the opponent. My damage will come from Lila, from her hit, and of course also from Crimson, and this will of course be amplified by an offense buffing tool which will come from this offense buffing hero. So yeah, this is the episode number 1. And for the sake of explaining this best way possible and make it as spicy as possible, you're gonna see who this player is and his stats in the end of the 3rd episode, so please pay attention. So the biggest damage in the game is actually Maximo, especially if it triggers from the heavy trooper. So the best way to counter that is actually to silence him. Now Nemo can do that, but Kotira is actually even more agile, to be honest, from this point of view. So that's why we're gonna show this setup here, and you're gonna see it in action. And I'm gonna show you 2 more ways of actually fighting the planes. So why did I said that Kotira is my plan A when it comes down to defense, and actually the indestructible buff is the plan B? Simply because, yes, we said Maximo from the heavy trooper is going to be the highest damage possible. And there's one example in which if the heavy trooper of your opponent has a higher fire rate, then Kotira will not get a chance to proc first to stop Maximo. In this example versus this player, yes, my high fire rate is higher than his. And yeah, Kotira actually has a chance. But for the other cases in which the high fire rate of your opponent on the heavy trooper is higher than yours, yeah, the plan B becomes actually the plan A, because yeah, the indestructible buff is the only thing which will gonna kind of reduce the damage you are taking from Maximo. So these 3 videos is also a request from a subscriber from the channel, which actually asked me to show you guys how do I actually process such a battle report, because the majority of you guys, you just reduce it to like watching the battle result, but that's not enough, because if you want to improve, or let's say the first step, you want to understand what happened in that battle, you have to watch the battle animation, because you have to understand which hero actually proc. So when did Kotira do what exactly? You also want to see when in the battle the heavy hits from your side, from your heroes actually applied. So you want to see from which slot, how many units were on those slots, in order to kind of evaluate somehow a bit the performance of your 3 hero march. So in other words, in this battle report, my superhero is not a heavy hitter one, is actually Kotira, because you can see already the numbers on the screen adding up. How many times she actually kind of silenced Maximo, reducing Maximo's damage to 0. Now I know that due to the fact that he has the suppression and I don't have it, this results kind of looks a bit game breaking. But in order to understand this even more, you have to watch actually the episode number 2, in which we're gonna have a different Navy setup, and of course the episode number 3. And in the end of episode number 3, I'm gonna show you exactly against whom we are actually playing and what is his setup, what are his skills, and then you understand a bit more. And in the episode 3, I also gonna summarize the results from this episode number 1, from the episode number 2, and the episode number 3, and wrap everything up in order to show you the 3 possible ways to play Navy nowadays. So let's move the battle animation slightly to the right in order to actually add also the end results, and we wanna show you that. So what you see here, indeed, you see, yes, my Lila done a lot of damage, 8.3 T, and you see also Crimson done a lot of damage, 14.7. But why did that exactly happen? Simply because of Coutinho. Not only that she's actually buffing, of course, that's more than obvious. She actually blocked a lot his heroes, so his heroes didn't get a chance to fight properly, didn't get a chance to proc, and this is the explanation of why did I got these results. I strongly suggest you to watch now episode number 2 and episode number 3, because we're gonna fight the exact same player with the same setup, but we're gonna use a different Navi setup. So that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode.